It was suggested that we do a nib tuning video, so I'm going to take you through the process of how we tune the nib on a signature line order. Let's go. All right, the first step is to actually look at the nib. I'm going to be tuning a medium nib on this Comet in Diamond Cast Nebula. So what we do is we take and look at the nib underneath magnification, and we check the shape of the tip of the nib. What we're looking for a lot of times is if there's any sharp edges here, or if the shape isn't really what we want on a medium-sized nib, we might want to reshape it a little bit here or here. The main point of tuning a nib is to get the writing pad to be smooth and the correct shape to give the right line width for what we're looking for. So this nib is in the right shape right now. I'm going to double check under magnification. The next step is to align the tines and make sure that the tine one isn't further up or down from the other one. Most of the scratchiness you're going to find is due to misalignment. That's the number one reason, and it's one of the most important things that we fix. So I'm going to check alignment right now, and we'll get right back to the video. Once we've checked that it's aligned and the shape is the right way that we want it to, we will dip the pen in ink. We always test our pens in Waterman ink, and then we do some basic tuning with abrasives. If it's a very broad nib, sometimes we'll start on sandpaper like this. What I will usually do is go clockwise and rotate it, then I'll go counterclockwise and rotate it, just to get the whole thing. Sometimes I'll do a few strokes like this, just so that I'm not flattening it side to side only. And then we just repeat the process on the different grits of our little emery board here. Not enough ink. The pink is the most coarse, then it goes to the white and the gray. So I just repeat that process through all the grits. This is a little bit of an abbreviated version of what it would normally be, just to get through the video quickly. Once we're done with the buffing stick, we move on to these micro mesh sheets. These feel almost like paper. They're very, very high grit, which means they don't take a whole lot off, and they really give you that kind of polish and shine that you're looking for. After the green, we move on to the white. That's the final step. At this point, we'll test it. We usually test it on whatever paper we have around. I have a Rhodium notebook right now. My favorite word to write is smooth or wonderful. And then I always test in each direction and see if I get a smooth experience. Sometimes I would, maybe moving from left to right is a little bit rough, and so I will look at the nib and see, did it come out of alignment? Is there something else we can change the shape a little bit? But usually it's just a matter of going back and repeating these steps a couple times. You don't even have to go all the way back to the beginning. Little green, little white, and we just repeat that process until the nib is writing in a wonderful manner. Our normal tuning is 7 to 10 flow with just a touch of feedback. We find that if the nib is too smooth, your writing can be haphazard all over the place, and you don't have any resistance on the paper. You just don't feel the writing experience. So that's our typical thing. We can tune it drier or wetter based on your preferences, and this is something that we do with every signature line pen. It gets inked up, gets tested, and flushed. Production line pens are dry tuned, so we do these kind of steps without inking the pen up, but every nib that's an Edison nib that leaves here is inspected and tuned in one way, shape, or form. Now I'm going to rinse it. To flush the ink out, what we do is we will take the pen, remove the section. We haven't installed the cartridge converter yet. Usually we'll take it and rinse off with a little bit of water. Then we take a bulb syringe and fill that with water, and we just force water through the nib until it runs clear. You can already kind of see that the ink coming out of there, is mostly clear. So there we go. Your pen is flushed and ready to be installed and shipped off to you.